football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Seahawks and the Cowboys coming up next.
One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
All in all, he was pretty solid in the victory in the wild card round and threw a couple of touchdowns. And when it comes to quarterback play, you'd always love spectacular, but in the playoffs, you'll take solid, and that's exactly what they're looking for from him again in this contest.
They will start this drive with 4, and not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. But, Charles, you think about their impressive record, and then you look on the screen and see some of these injuries. That makes what they've done all that more impressive.
And when one of their starters or one of their key guys can't play, they miss him, or they just say, get well. We'll hold the fort until you get back, and the next person steps up into that void. This team has done a nice job all year long. No excuses, just performance.
To the air with McCarthy. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So out come the Cowboys under head coach Mike McCarthy. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
For a guy still in his second year in the NFL, this is obviously a big spot for him to try and fill. Able to engineer the victory in the wild card round last weekend. That's got to give him confidence, and it's got to elevate the confidence of his teammates as well. But as he said after the win, things are only going to get tougher from there. He understands the situation he's in. He understands what's ahead of him in this one.
2nd and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Only able to gain a couple there. And now it's 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Daniels. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a 1st down as well. Now Daniels. That's to Kraft, the tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. To the air goes Daniels. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Brenton Strange, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end and those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
On the ground, it's Ford. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. This is Ford. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Again, they turn to Ford. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Now McCarthy. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 15-yard line. Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. He gets it left side to Johnson. So he stopped for no gain, and it's 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 10. On play action. Now McCarthy. Throw left side complete. That's Ford. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. To the air again, McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
So you think it's not tough playing quarterback in the NFL? How about what we just saw there? The rush got home on 3rd down. He had to stand in there and take the shot as he released it. Throws on target, though, and it's good enough to keep the drive moving.
And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end, and that play going nowhere. It'll go as a loss on the play, not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. McCarthy off the play fake. And it'll be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Their quarterback leading this offense back out. He threw a touchdown pass last time they had it. And he'll look to get him in the end zone again here as they start with the 1st down. To throw is Daniels. That's taken in. It's Keon Coleman. And all the way down to the 39. A big play here for Dallas. 41 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Able to find his man, Kraft. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 23. Daniels looking to throw. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Keon Coleman, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And out now come the Seahawks. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. On play action, McCarthy. And incomplete on a deep ball.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
They run with Ford, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. And here's Daniel wheeling on now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Throwing now is Daniels. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Daniels. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's taken to the 26. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, after that pickup of a first down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams have. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch him by surprise.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. From just shy of midfield, here's a second down and 9. Now we give to the first man through, and that's Johnson. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is caught by Evans. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
He came very close to absolutely destroying their defensive strategy, didn't he? Broke some tackles and came very close to picking up a first down. They've got to wrap up better.
Indeed, but they were able to get him down before that marker. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Short throw, he's got Kraft. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Dancing to his left. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just 1 snap of the football. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. A look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the 3rd quarter. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Cowboys offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Now it's another carry for the fullback Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is McCarthy. And the catch made by Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. It's a big play there for Seattle, and even 60 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Looking to throw McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's McCarthy. And this is going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the third quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. This 2nd and 4. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They go play action. Daniels. That went out wide and intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. And we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them, not easily none. And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Now Brown, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
We just saw the dilemma for every coach. You want them to fight for the extra yardage, but somehow continue to cover the football. Oftentimes when you fight that hard, the ball becomes exposed.
Defensively, it's obvious they're trying to be more aggressive. First tackle a little too aggressive. Second one, though, they strip it loose. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
2nd and 9 now. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
To the air with McCarthy. Now they go screen. It's complete. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screen play is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
And got his man complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Off the play fake. McCarthy. He gets this one to Johnson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. Up the middle they go. Ford. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Off play action. McCarthy. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down. Looking to throw. McCarthy, he finds his man, complete. It's Ford. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. McCarthy operating from the gun. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. The kick by Carlson is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth. A pass complete to Odunze. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. From 19 yards away. And the Cowboys are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this fourth quarter lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Ford. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Now McCarthy. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Going for it. Here's McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
An 8-yard pickup. And the Seahawks first down.
Now a give, right side. Ford stiff-armed him. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 30. Back to throw. McCarthy. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
He gets it left side to Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
On play action. Now McCarthy. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Off the bootleg, here's McCarthy. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And brought down there by Taylor Rapp.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
58 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Here's a handoff out of the gun to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 6.
They'll let the QB keep it here off the option. That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Cowboys continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season, got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
And out now come the Seahawks.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. McCarthy.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
From the shotgun, McCarthy.
This is caught by Evans. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
McCarthy going to throw again.
One last shot at the end zone.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted.
Picked up by Juan Thornhill. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.